You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page as well. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. On today's episode of the podcast, we review match number 3 of IPL 2021 between the Sunrisers Hyderabad and the Kolkata Knight Riders. It's the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast, and let's get started. Let's have a look at the match summary from match number 3 of this IPL for 2021 between the Sunrisers Hyderabad and the Kolkata Knight Riders from Chennai. The Knight Riders batted first and made 6 for 187 from their 20 overs. Rana top scored with 80 off 56 balls. Rashid Khan and Mohammad Nabi both took 2 wickets each for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. The Sunrisers Hyderabad finished on 5 for 177 from their 20 overs. Manish Pandey top scored with 61 not out of 44 balls, and Krishna took 2 wickets for the Knight Riders. The Knight Riders won by 10 runs, and Nitish Rana was named man of the match. What were some of the key moments and key factors from this game between the Sunrisers Hyderabad and the Kolkata Knight Riders? I thought the key factor and the key moment in this game was the partnership between Manish Pandey and Johnny Bairstow. The pair came in for the Sunrisers Hyderabad at 2 for 10. And when you're 2 for 10 in a run chase, chasing 188 to win, you're on the back foot straight away. So those two came in when the Sunrisers Hyderabad were 2 for 10. And they needed to rebuild the innings, and they did. Obviously, they added 92 for the third wicket. That partnership was on track to get the win for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. But for the Kolkata Knight Riders, it was very important for them to break the partnership. And they broke the partnership, and pretty much that's where the game was done and dusted, really, for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Once they broke that partnership between Pandey and Bairstow, pretty much they were able to take wickets after that partnership, which saw the required run rate climb for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, and in the end they couldn't chase down the runs because the pressure was starting to build. Obviously, once that partnership was broken between Pandey and Bairstow, obviously wickets were falling, new batsmen were coming in, it was hard for them to get going, and obviously the required run rate was climbing with every dot ball and every wicket that was falling. So that was the key factor in this game that really turned this game in favour of the Kolkata Knight Riders, which led to them winning this game by 10 runs. Let's have a look at both teams' performances in this game. We'll start with the Sunrisers Hyderabad and their batsmen. Saha 7, Warner 3, Pandey 61 not out, Bairstow 55, Nabi 14, Shankar 11, and Saman 19 not out. Let's have a look at their bowlers. 2 wickets each for Nabi and Rashid Khan, a wicket each for Kumar and Natarajan, no wickets for Shankar and Sandeep Sharma. That's how the Sunrisers Hyderabad went about things as a team in this game. A disappointing performance from the Sunrisers Hyderabad, I thought. Didn't quite play at their best in this game. We'll start with their batting performance. Their batting was okay. They did well in the end to get close to the Kolkata Knight Riders. Unfortunately, they just fell short by 10 runs. The batting was okay. At times, they lost wickets at the wrong times, which wasn't good for them, obviously, in the run chase. Obviously, it's not great when you lose wickets at regular intervals. Then, obviously, the new batsman has to come in, and it's going to be hard for them to start. So they lost wickets at the wrong time. Manish Pandey obviously gave the Sunrisers Hyderabad some hope to win this game. Obviously, he top scored with 61 not out. The partnership between him and Bairstow of 92 for the third wicket obviously was giving the Sunrisers Hyderabad a good chance of winning this game. Obviously, they came in when the Sunrisers Hyderabad were 2 down for 10, and obviously that's not a great start when you're chasing 188 to win. They came in, they rebuilt the innings, they added 92 for the third wicket. But as soon as that partnership was broken, they lost wickets after that, which saw the required run rate climb, and in the end, they couldn't chase down the total. Obviously, a late partnership between Pandey and Saman of 27 unbeaten for the 6th wicket wasn't enough to get them over the line. So it was a okay batting performance from the Sunrisers Hyderabad, but going forward, they need to improve on not losing wickets early in the innings, because it's very important to have wickets in hand as a batting side in T20 cricket, because you don't want to lose wickets. Therefore, the new batsmen coming in, it's going to be hard for them to start. So it's very important to have some established batsmen, some batsmen who are in and set at the crease. So for them going forward, they just need to improve on not losing early wickets and trying to build partnerships and backup partnerships as well. The bowling performance was okay, but I thought it was a little bit rusty. Obviously, at times during this match, they mis-executed their lines and lengths, which happens in T20 cricket from time to time. As I said before, they looked a little bit rusty with their bowling, and that happens when you haven't bowled for a long time as a bowling attack. Obviously, this bowling attack haven't played with each other since the last IPL. So it's going to take a bit of time to get the rhythm back and get back into the swing of things of the IPL again for this bowling attack. But I think the more bowling they do, we can see that rust wear off as we progress throughout this tournament for the Sunrisers Hyderabad bowlers. And obviously the bowlers will get back to their best and obviously do the job with the ball for the Sunrisers Hyderabad going forward. So overall the bowling was okay, but a little bit rusty, but they can get better and they can improve their bowling. Overall, it was a good effort to get close in the end for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, but they can take a lot out of this game as a team going forward and look to get better and improve for the next game. It's only the first game of this IPL season for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. There's still plenty more games for them to get better and get the victories and hopefully for them qualify for the playoffs later on in the IPL. But overall, it was a good effort to get close. Unfortunately, the Kolkata Knight Riders were just too good in the end. Let's have a look at the team performance for the Kolkata Knight Riders in this game. We'll start with their batsmen: Rana 80, Gill 15, Tripathi 53, Russell 5, Morgan 2, Karthik 22 not out, and Alassane 3. Let's have a look at their bowlers. 2 wickets for Krishna, a wicket each for Russell, Alassane and Cummins. No wickets for Harbhajan Singh and Chakravarti. That's how the Kolkata Knight Riders went about things as a team in this match. A good performance from the Kolkata Knight Riders with both bat and ball. I thought they did a pretty good job with both bat and ball in this game. Let's talk about their batting performance first of all. I thought they batted pretty well. They did well to get a good score of 187, all thanks to the partnerships of 53 for the first wicket between Rana and Gill, and 93 for the second wicket between Tripathi and Raina. I thought those partnerships between those batsmen were crucial in terms of the Kolkata Knight Riders getting to 187, which was a good score in the end. So the batting performance overall from the Knight Riders was good. I thought they really batted well. So great signs for them going forward for the rest of this IPL in terms of the batting, which is great signs for the Knight Riders. Let's talk about their bowling performance. Their bowling performance was pretty good as well. They managed to take wickets early, and at one stage they had the Sunrisers Hyderabad 2 down for 10, which is a pretty good start with the ball, especially when you're trying to defend in a run chase in T20 cricket. Those wickets early in the innings are very crucial, and they managed to get them 2 down for 10. Obviously, the big moment in this game was breaking the partnership between Pandey and Bairstow of 92 for the third wicket. That was a big moment for the Knight Riders in this game, because if that partnership was able to continue and get 100 plus, for example, then the Sunrisers Hyderabad would have been chasing down this total and winning this game. But the Kolkata Knight Riders bowlers were able to break this partnership, and pretty much after they broke this partnership, the Sunrisers Hyderabad were really struggling to chase down this total. Obviously, the required run rate went up, and obviously with each dot ball and each wicket, the required run rate went up. Obviously, it got a bit tougher for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. All the pressure was on them now to try and chase down the total. For the Knight Riders, it was just about defending, bowling good balls, and building more pressure on the Sunrisers Hyderabad, which they did. And they were able to defend the total with 10 runs to spare. So overall, the bowling performance from the Knight Riders was a good display of bowling. Obviously, they did well to defend 187, but they can still improve as a bowling attack. There's some areas of improvement to be made. Obviously, going forward, they'll look at those areas to improve on, and obviously get better at those areas with the ball. But overall, it was a great bowling performance from the bowlers. Overall, a great performance from the Knight Riders, and it's good for them to get a win first up in this IPL campaign. And hopefully that's a sign of things to come for them for the rest of this IPL season, and potentially a playoff spot, and even probably a spot in the final as well. Let's have a look at both teams' potential 11s heading into their next game. We'll start with the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Their next game is against RCB. I don't think the Sunrisers Hyderabad need to hit the panic button after this defeat to the Kolkata Knight Riders. It's only game one for them in this IPL. I don't think they need to make massive changes heading into this game against RCB. Obviously, it's the first game of the tournament for them. They're going to be a bit rusty, and they were a little bit rusty in this game. Obviously, the team haven't played with each other since the last IPL. So I think the more game time they have with this 11 and with these core group of players, that will put them in good stead as we get to the business end of this IPL. So I don't think they need to make massive changes. It's important that this team play as many games as possible with each other to build and gel and get back into the swing of things and get back to the rhythm of the IPL. No doubt the Sunrisers Hyderabad will feature in the playoffs this IPL season. But for them, it's just about building that consistency with this core group of players. So I don't think they need to make massive changes heading into their next game against RCB. So the likely 11 could be Saha, Warner, Pandey, Bairstow, Nabi, Shankar, Saman, Khan, Kumar, Sharma, and Natarajan. Let's have a look at the Kolkata Knight Riders' potential 11 for their next match, which is against the Mumbai Indians. I don't think they'll make any changes to their 11 for that game against the Mumbai Indians, the Kolkata Knight Riders. As they say in cricket, you don't change a winning team. So it's important for the Kolkata Knight Riders to have this team play as much as possible together and build that cohesion and consistency with this group of players going forward for the rest of the IPL. So it's very important for the Knight Riders that they do that. Obviously, this team that they had in this game against the Sunrisers did a pretty good job, so I don't think they'll make any changes to their 11. They may make some changes if necessary, but I don't think they'll make any changes for that game against the Mumbai Indians. So the potential 11 could be Rana, Gill, Tripathi, Russell, Morgan, Kartik, Alasan, Cummins, Harbhajan Singh, Chakravarti, and Krishna. What can we expect from both teams heading into their next match? We'll start with the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Their next game is against RCB on Wednesday at Chennai. For the Sunrisers Hyderabad, it's all about trying to bounce back and put in a better performance against RCB. They will know RCB will be hard to beat and will have to be at their best to beat them. It isn't panic stations yet for the Sunrisers Hyderabad after this loss to the Kolkata Knight Riders, but the Sunrisers Hyderabad, they will want to bounce back against RCB. They don't want to start IPL 2021 0-2, because if you're 0-2 starting the IPL, obviously it's going to be very hard to try and win games to try and get back and obviously qualify for the playoffs. So for them, they will like to bounce back and get a win early to start this IPL for them. They're a class side and should have no troubles in bouncing back against RCB. The Kolkata Knight Riders, their next game is against the Mumbai Indians on Tuesday at Chennai. The Knight Riders will take a lot of confidence from this win against the Sunrisers Hyderabad heading into that game against the Mumbai Indians. But the Kolkata Knight Riders will have to be at their best to win that game against the Mumbai Indians. Obviously, Mumbai coming off the loss against RCB, they will like to bounce back, obviously. They don't want to be 0-2 to start IPL themselves, the Mumbai Indians, so they will like to bounce back. So for the Knight Riders, it's very important to be at their best. Mumbai are a quality side, so for the Knight Riders, they will have to be on their game to defeat the defending champions. But this win against the Sunrisers Hyderabad will give them lots of confidence. And obviously for KKR, if they can get a 2-0 start to IPL 2021, that will give them lots of confidence going forward as a team in IPL 2021 if they can start the season 2-0. But they will have to be at their game. They will have to be at their best, I should say, against the defending champions in the Mumbai Indians. But they're a good side, obviously, the Knight Riders, and it should be a great game between them and the Mumbai Indians. Overall, a good match between the Knight Riders and the Sunrisers Hyderabad. In the end, the Knight Riders were too strong. Both teams will have mixed feelings after this game, but we should expect to see these teams contest for a spot in the playoffs. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get the latest episodes of the podcast, and like and share our Facebook page. Until next time, keep safe and bye for now.